Thank you, Mays, for your testimony. I wanted to focus on the GIVE, Gun-Involved Violence Elimination Initiative, and tying that into the supports that are in the governor's budget, but also wondering if the expansion of the New York State Police Forensic Investigation Division, being able to submit from your police departments the ability to investigate and ask for DNA connections to criminal possession of a weapon when that's the sole crime. Currently, the policy for the state police is that if the sole crime is involving criminal possession of a firearm, they will not collect that and accept those submissions. Do you think that's something that can help combat crime in your communities?
Go ahead. Listen, anytime we can have more resources brought to bear for us to help solve crime, which is what, and I'm not really familiar entirely with everything you're talking about, but I am familiar with what you're talking about, would be something we'd be interested in.
So just to give a little background, for instance, say there's four individuals in a vehicle, and a gun is found in the car. Currently, there would be no possibility of submitting that to state police to see who that gun belonged to in the car. So under the exception, all four would be charged with it. The ability for law enforcement to submit that to the state police, local law enforcement, to get a DNA match would help exonerate the three that the gun did not belong to, and potentially help in the prosecution of the person who had the illegal firearm. That's what the basis for this is. And I think that's something that is a missed opportunity in all the initiatives that we have in combating gun violence in our cities. So that's why I'm asking that question, and I'm hoping that you can carry that message on and maybe talk to your law enforcement officials and see if they could.
I will do that.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that the Crime Analysis Center, we have a new one in Albany, but that ties together all of our law enforcement agencies in the region, the state police, federal resources, is a game changer. And so anything that we can do, but the work that they can do with ballistics to map a gun to a crime that might have happened in Rochester or in Yonkers, we are making incredible headway. We had a homicide on Thursday, and by Friday we had the car down in New York City. We had the gun, and ultimately the individual turned themselves into the police. That's because of the investment that the state has made and that the governor is continuing to propose to make in this budget, and it's critically important. It allows us to be fast. It allows us to send a strong message to the community that we care about their safety, but that we also are going to find individuals who engage in illegal activity with guns, and we are going to do everything that we can and work together to make sure that we get them off the street.
And I think that your question really speaks to as well the collaborative nature that is necessary between state police and localities. And we've been blessed in Rochester to have that great relationship. But I think also any time that you can find and ensure that that innocent people are not swept up into the criminal justice system, it's also extremely important to be able to really deliver justice. So if you're able to eliminate an individual who might get a CPW charge that was not involved with that, that is good, because we need to keep as many people as possible from touching the criminal justice system unnecessarily, because we know what that leads to for the rest of their life. So if that is something that is a tool that is able to be used, is something that we would definitely welcome and would be interested in learning more about for sure.
Thank you so much. And just one last point on it. The ability is, of course, because the DNA databases with those that were convicted of felonies and misdemeanors in the penal law, so this could potentially help stop someone from going further down the road and committing a shooting, because we'd be able to identify them before that happens if a gun is found and that's the only charge. So I think it's a really important piece, and I thank you for your contributions. Thank you.
Thank you.